There are different options on the table that I feel like they need to start exploring, because I feel like there are certain players that aren't getting used to the best of their capabilities. I think Muscala falls in that category, and I think Grant Williams falls in that category. And I know Grant's been struggling, but like we know that he can do more. And I'm just wondering if what the deal is there. Like, did he fall out of Joe's good graces? Because his minutes have seriously taken a hit, and I really don't know why.
Maybe he wants to get paid.
I mean, I get that, but like, there's one way to get paid, right? Like, it's to play well.
Like, if we don't play you, your value's gonna drop. I'm joking.
That would be messed
when
up.
he goes
That'll
out
poison
there,
the water well there.
But when he goes out there, if he wants to get his value back up, then he needs to,
play.
Yeah,
right? And I like in general, right? Obviously, I'm joking when I say
this. He had a stretch of games where Grant looked like it was time to pay Grant. Like, it ain't gonna be the number he want, but like let's get him. Let's keep him on this team. He's a part of this team. He plays a very good piece to this team. You don't want to break that up. And then there's just times where he just doesn't seem like he's there, or he's. You know what? The one thing that frustrates about me, let me ask you: is he? He's more. He seems like he's more of a catch and shoot type of guy, right? Like, and so like when he gets the ball, he'll take the stupid dribble, and to me, it'll break up the rhythm of him just shooting the ball. I'd rather him just catch it, shoot it. If it goes in, it goes in, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But he does try to clear that extra space, or he'll try to drive it around three people because he has the Ja Morant moves somewhere unlocked or unleashed into his repertoire, and it doesn't look good. And so, like, he does little things that just really irk your nerves if you're a Celtics fan watching the sport. But I do like what he brings to the table. And so, like, at some point, they need to let Grant be Grant and figure it out, especially during the adjustment periods. Like, if your team is down and they just can't, your starting lineup just can't figure it out, man. Listen, put the bench in, do something different, try to provide a spark at that moment. And that's where I feel like, when we were talking about our coach earlier, he's learning. And we got to give him some type of a grace period to go through these growing pains. Because come playoffs, I guarantee you is going to be different. He'll rely on his players that he can trust. And things will be a little bit different.
Do you ever feel like Grant Williams is the front court version of Marcus Smart? So, like, defense is his calling card. He's versatile defensively. He's switchable as a big. He can guard some of the most elite bigs in the league better than what somebody of his size and skill level should be able to. And now his offense is kind of caught up, but he's trying to do too much with it. And fans are starting to get frustrated with that. Now, if you go back 2-3 years ago with Marcus Smart, the biggest thing that irked Celtics fans was like Smart was taking shots outside of his role. Or that's at least how people felt, right? They were like, Smart's trying to do too much. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for Grant Williams attacking a closeout from the corner, driving hard on the baseline, and then trying to finish, or making a read out of that. You've got to be able to do that to keep defenders honest on those corner threes. I'm okay with him running fake DHOs and then driving when there's an open lane because he's blew up the defense. Outside of that, I'm with you. He's a catch and shoot guy. So sometimes, like recently, when I've seen a lot of the Vitarol online, I'm like, yo, Grant's the front court Marcus Smart. Obviously, I'm not saying he's a defensive player of the year caliber defender, but I'm just on about kind of the trajectory he's been on. He was really disliked. He was loved in his first year, hated in his sophomore year. People loved him last season, and now they feel like he's doing too much drawing, too much offensively, too much this, that, and the other. And now everyone's split on what his value is, just like they were with Marcus Smart. And I just see a lot of similarities in their development. So I think that I'm very curious whether you guys see those similarities as well. And for anybody watching this or anybody listening on the podcast version, like, let me know your thoughts, man, because this is something I've been toying with for at least a week or two.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I would say that. And so if I was comparing him to like the Marcus Smart, it was more like to me, what I love about Grant is his what's those type of players that the gritty players, right? Like diving for the loose balls, taking the charges, like doing those types of things. Is and that's what you see Grant Hill doing. But like you said, his offense kind of caught up.
Grant Will.
Did I call him Hill again?
Yeah. I was gonna let it slide, but I'm like, no.
I don't know. I have this infatuation with Grant Hill for some reason because he didn't play.
He's just gonna end up with the Pistons. That's what
I just find it so funny.
Wait, is that what we're doing? No, that is not what we're saying. All right, anyway, Grant Will, like he just, he does the intangible things, and when it's his time, I don't have a problem with him taking shots. I have a problem with him like second guessing the damn shot. I think that's what it is. Like, dude, shoot the shot. You can do it. And then it's like he'll second guess it, he'll pump fake, and then he'll pass out to someone that's going to take a bad shot, or the clock is expiring. And it's just like, damn it, Grant, like be confident all the time, which is different from Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was uber confident. He didn't give a what you thought. He would take the shot. Didn't care if it was bad, if it was airballed. He didn't care. He would do it. It sounded like what Jaylen, Brown does too. He'll just take shots. You'd be like, what are you doing? Is this percentage high or what? So I don't have a problem with that, but I do see the comparison. I kind of like that, Adam.
I mean, they're two high IQ basketball players, right? Like they have very high basketball IQ. They're both very smart. They both bring a lot of intangibles to the table. Both very much glue guys. Like I think Grant is important to that locker room more than like we probably realize in some cases. But, we've seen him step up in big games. We saw him step up in the playoffs against Milwaukee. I remember I think it was his rookie year because it was the bubble, I think, right? Or was that sophomore year? I'm trying to think, but he made that massive play against Toronto where he blocked that last second 3-point shot. So like defense was his calling card, and then he added that 3-ball. And now like I think this season, part of it probably has to do with the fact that he is trying to get a contract. It is a contract year, so that kind of changes the way that guys approach the season going into it. As much as you try not to, like obviously that money you never know what happens during the season.
The best way to get paid as a role player his age is to just contribute to a championship.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, but I'm saying like we talked about him trying to add like different wrinkles to his offensive game. Like, it's I think attacking the closeout, like him driving, being able to put the ball to the paint. Like he's not hesitating to do those things, but I do agree. Wayne hit on it specifically. Like he, at least over the past few weeks, maybe the past month, I have seen him go up for threes and then he just pump fakes out of them and then passes. And it's like, no, we need you to hit those threes. We need you to not be afraid to take them. And I don't know what's happening there, where the second guessing comes from. Like, was he going on a little bit of a cold streak offensively and that's just impacted him since then? But like his shot attempts seem to have gone down significantly. He's not adding as much as I thought he would be doing offensively. I don't know, like maybe there was an expectation that he thought he was going to get traded and that's changed things. I really don't know. It's just all speculation at this point, but they need him to get back to what he was doing earlier on in the season, especially, I mean, like, he's not the only player you can say that for because obviously the Celtics were a wagon at the beginning of the year. Now they've kind of been up and down a little bit as they've navigated injuries, so on and so forth. But they need Grant to get back to what he was because you need a guy like that. You need someone to be able to play defense and to be a high IQ player, make the right passes, make the right plays, and hit your threes and not be afraid to shoot them. And I just don't know where that fear is coming from. It's really, really weird.
Somebody somewhere told him off.
Maybe. I mean, it's very well could be.
Somebody somewhere told him, like, yo, you're taking too many of my shots away.
Yeah,
it's Al Horford. Al Horford's like, hey, man, I'm still here. You're not getting my spot, man.
Too. Shoot, like, hit his shots.
He was huge against Philly. That was massive.